What's up, everyone? For a while, I've been thinking about making a countdown of Sonic box art covers, but then I thought, nah, tier list. It's gotta be a tier list. I'll be ranking these covers from S to E, just like in the games. Main series only for this video. I am not covering every Sonic box art ever. If you want to see me cover the spin-off box art covers, let me know. Here are the rules. I'll be judging these covers by style and creativity. Do they exemplify what each game is about? I'll be including re-releases, remakes, and remasters since they are part of the same game. If the cover is the same in other countries, I'll be counting them as one. The games don't need physical box art covers to count. I'm including key art as well. And this is all my opinion. If I give a low ranking to a cover you really like, I'm sorry. Alright, let's do this. Starting with Sonic 1, North America. Every 90s kid knows about this. This cover says just about everything of the game. The snarky Sonic there with his attitude. That was such a buzzword back then. Attitude. The artwork by Gray Gray makes him look a little glossy, and it really shines here. Behind him is Green Hill Zone, which I am sick to death of, but this was the first time we ever saw it. It is the first stage, and it has the most freedom, giving you plenty of space to get used to Sonic's momentum. And rings are in the background too, putting this in A rank. Sonic 1, Europe. I do like Sonic drawn by Naoto Oshima, that's cool. But what ruins this box art for me is the background. We do have a Flicky and a Bunny, willing critters that Sonic does rescue in the game, but what is with Eggman? He's the main villain, and here we have a doodle of him looking so innocent. You could mistake him for a supporting character who helps Sonic. Eggman's way too cute here. And the squiggles in the background, they make it look like this is purely a kid's game. That's not Sonic 1. C rank. Sonic 1, Japan. It has shapes in the background, but unlike the European cover, this one looks dynamic, and it really pops. And it hypes Sonic up. The most famous hedgehog in the world. Damn straight. And I love the message on the bottom. Don't just sit there and waste your precious time. When you want to do something, do it right away. Do it when you can. It's the only way to live a life without regrets. That's Sonic right there. This cover really catches your eye, and you're thinking, man, I gotta play this. Yep, A rank. Behind the North American one though. Sonic 1, Korea. Okay, we have Sonic in front of a white background, and surrounding him is a ring of other Sonics. This cover is weird. To be fair, the other Sonics do show him having other personality traits. He likes to explore, he relaxes and yawns, he's up for adventure. Pick one. You pick one to convey what he's about. That's what the other box art covers did. This cover's weirding me out too much. D rank. And ending the Sonic 1 chapter is Sonic Genesis on Game Boy Advance, which is the Sonic 1 box art in North America cropped out. Which is honest. The game does have screen crunch. It is a lesser version of Sonic 1, but it does remove a lot of the Sonic 1 cover. So C rank. Low C rank. Sonic 2, Japan. The all-star duo Sonic and Tails in front of a white background with colorful shapes, just like the first box art. I like in the background where their names intertwine at the I, and right next to that is the same message from the first game. Yeah, copy-paste, but I do like it. Times! It's on the left. It's on the top right. It's on the bottom left, written in katakana. If they needed one for English and one for Japanese, then keep one for English. Why do we have two of them? It is an odd choice. It's going in A rank. Sonic 2, North America. Oh yeah. You want people to know your sequel is bigger and better? You do it this way. We have the lead duo there, with Sonic looking cool and Tails looking friendly and confident, perfectly showing you what these two are about. And who over there? It's huge! And Eggman holding it. You can see that rage in him. The way his fingers are clawing on that too, the cracks and the crumbles coming out of it. And he is so pissed off. Look at that cringe. Look at those pure black eyes. This tells you he is a much bigger threat in this game, and you have no idea what's coming at the finale. Also, I dig that beard. He should have kept it. This is an awesome cover. Yeah, S rank. Our first S rank. Sonic CD, Japan. The background is akin to Sonic 1 and 2, but with this artwork, it looks like it means business. This is the first cover to have Sonic angry. He is a fun-loving teen, but if you push someone down, if you try to ruin lives, he won't stand for it. CD is also the first game to show us how heroic Sonic is. He can go back in time and make sure everyone in Little Planet has a good future. This shows how caring he is. CD gives us that side of Sonic, and the box art perfectly encapsulates that. The cover is also the first to have Metal Sonic on it, and the two are framed as opposing forces. Sonic being one of justice, with an aura of cyan, and Metal Sonic as one of evil, with his aura as a lighter hue of red. This artwork really pumps you up for a fight between the two. Ironically, the two never fight in this game. They race. Well, metaphorically they fight. Below the title, there's a long message there. Something that says a lot about Sonic. To live a life of power, you must have faith that what you believe is right, even if others tell you you're wrong. The first thing you must do to live a life of power is to find courage. You must be ready to reach beyond the boundaries of time itself. And to do that, all you need is the will to take that first step. The message has a hint of time travel, and at the end there's an ellipsis, telling you that the message isn't really complete. You have to play the game to see the rest for yourself. I love this box art, and just seeing this makes me feel like playing CD again. Yep, S rank. Sonic CD, North America. Whoa! I don't know where to begin because it all looks so cool. Sonic just destroyed a UFO and got a time stone out of it. The time stones made it to the covers before the Chaos Emeralds did, and Metal Sonic is chasing after him, but he can't keep up. Unlike the Japanese box art, this one, it's hellish red like Stardust Speedway Bad Future, or one of the special stages. There are chrome skyscrapers on the bottom, making this the first cover to take place in a city. And in the background, Little Planet. The serene, beautiful Little Planet, which we've gotta save. The artist Greg Martin really outdid himself here. S rank. Unquestionably, S rank. It doesn't reflect anything in the game, it's just an ugly, sloppy collage of colors. Ugh. The other two covers were D rank. Sonic CD, 2011. This is what the European box art should have been. Much cleaner and easier on the eyes. And the background is a green checkerboard. I'll take that over the puke that was in the European cover. Still, Sonic and Metal are too cropped out. So, C rank. Sonic 3, North America. Oh, this is solid. We have Sonic there holding up 3 fingers to celebrate Sonic 3. Tails is flying, which you can finally do. It started in this game. Within the bushes are eyes in the shadows, hinting on Knuckles, someone who knows Angel Island more than anyone else. And speaking of Angel Island, it looks so lush and vibrant. Although Eggman is there with the Egg Scorcher Mark III, torching the place. Hey, Knuckles, maybe turn around, Eggman's birding your home. Yeah, what else can I say? Solid. A rank. Sonic 3, Europe. We've got Sonic in Carnival Night Zone of all places. Like in the North American cover, Sonic is holding up 3 fingers, and 1 on the other hand, so wouldn't that make it 4? Knuckles is there too, making this the first cover to fully feature Knuckles. And this artwork gave him black wristbands, which we never see again. I can do with or without. And they could have used different artwork for Knuckles. He's supposed to be the big rival of this game, but on the cover he looks like an annoyed supporting character. Sonic, you big palooka, I'll give you a good wallop. This cover isn't doing it for me. I don't hate it, it just doesn't work for me. C rank. Sonic 3, Japan. Like the other Japanese covers, white canvas with shapes all around. I think there was more work done there in the background. We have Sonic there with 3 fingers again, and beside him is Knuckles, looking more heroic this time. This cover makes it look like these two are friends, which doesn't happen until the end of Sonic 3. Complete Sonic 3. Individual Sonic 3, it ends in Launch Base Zone, and Knuckles still hates Sonic. The cover also implies Knuckles is playable, which didn't happen in Sonic 3 Solo. You could see it as false advertising at the time, but when Sonic & Knuckles came out, you've got the full package. Then it does make sense on the cover. For a few months, this cover was bullshit, but it's fine now. It's fine now. So like its brothers, A rank. Let's end the classic era with Sonic and Knuckles. This right here. This is my favorite Sonic cover. The 2 silhouettes of the heads of Sonic and Knuckles looking right at you as they're interlocking with each other, like the lock-on technology. The way the cover frames both, and he fights Super Mecha Sonic, which Sonic can never do in this game. This cover was such a turning point for Sonic's image. Endlessly cool. It doesn't need shapes in the background or Sonic wagging his finger. It's played seriously without overdoing it. This game is a bigger deal than the other ones, and Sonic 3 overall has the most storytelling in the trilogy. Epic scales reaching all the way to outer space, and a well-done character arc that's never been done before. This cover is so good, there's no other version of Sonic and Knuckles. Japan, Europe, they all use this. No question, S rank. The highest S rank. The 3D lineup has begun, starting with Sonic Adventure. Sonic is rocking that new design by Yuji Uekawa, and the graffiti art style of the late 90s is kicking in. Sonic is back for a new generation. New look, but same personality. He is way more expressive here than in the classic covers. That pose is sick. The sky and water, all blended together with a ripple effect. And seeing how water is a big deal in this game, you gotta implement it in the cover. The early 6th generation of gaming was the era of showing off water physics. This game, Final Fantasy X, Kingdom Hearts 1, Wind Waker, Mario Sunshine, Metal Gear Solid 2, water everywhere. It's a sweet cover, no matter what era. S rank. Sonic Adventure DX. It has the same design philosophy as its Dreamcast counterpart. If you look closely, on the bottom you can see Station Square, and on the left by Sonic's head you can see the A carrier, and I think in the top left is Station Square flooded, and just like the Dreamcast cover, the ripple effect. Now for the elephant in the room. This is the first cover for the 3D games in the main series to use 3D models. With this game in particular, it does show its age. Chaos doesn't look too bad, but Sonic does look a little janky. If this was an early Dreamcast game, I'd be more lenient to it, but this is a GameCube game released in 2003. 3D models on the cover, they got better by this point. It is good, don't get me wrong. I remember when I was 11 and I saw this in a department store, and I was thinking, man, if only I had a GameCube, I would so play this. I'll put it in B rank. Now for my favorite Sonic game, Sonic Adventure 2. This cover is perfect for this game. Continuing from SA1, Sonic is in the foreground making a sick pose, and behind him, once again, is the sky. The enigmatic, super cool Shadow is sharing the spotlight with Sonic, setting the two as equals, although there is a hint of Shadow being superior to Sonic. On Sonic's side is the sky, but on Shadow's side is space. And what's higher than the sky? Also on Shadow's side is the Earth, surrounded in red. It could be symbolizing Shadow's hatred for the world and his desire for revenge. The dichotomy of good and bad is a constant theme in this game, and maybe if there is a Sonic Adventure 3 in the future, the cover could have the same design philosophy. Sonic doing a pose in this kind of art style with a ripple effect in the background. If there is one, it's gotta do it that way. Enough said, S rank. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. This one's a little personal for me since this is the earliest box art cover I remember seeing in person. And damn is it a good one! You could interpret it as an extended version of SA2. The dichotomy of good and bad, both teams on opposing sides. All 6 playable characters are staring down at their corresponding rivals. And the Chao are there too. They don't matter to the story, the Chao Garden is a side thing you can do. But it is in the game, and it does have the theme of good and bad in there. The Angel Chao on the left, the Dark Chao on the right, and the neutral Chao in the middle. That face it's making, it's so cute. It's like it's saying, uh-oh. The only thing about the cover I would change is put Tails a little lower. That way he and Eggman would meet at eye level, cause here it looks like Eggman is staring at the Chao. Mwahaha! I'll unlock the secrets of your power, Cheese. After this, it's all 3D models. Maybe the Star Style will come back. S rank. How could it not be S rank? Sonic Heroes, Japan. This is the only cover for Heroes to feature all playable characters, having a sky theme and all. So that makes this the only cover for the main series to feature Cream, Big, the Chaotix, and Omega. The use of 3D models started to stick the landing where SADX missed the mark a little. It's bright, positive, and everyone's invited. Why is this here? All new Sonic! No shit, it's all new. It was all new for a time. Why would they put that on the cover? A magazine ad, sure, but on the box art, it's there forever. It doesn't have that on the PS2 or PC covers, and on the Xbox cover it says, Sonic's Xbox debut. That helps it age much better than all new Sonic. That stamp in the GameCube version, that should not have been there. I give it a B lower than the Japanese cover. Sonic Heroes, Europe. I like the European version the most. 2 main reasons. Unlike the other covers that had giant Sonic and his 2 lackeys Tails and Knuckles at his side, this cover makes all 3 the same size. They're on equal footing, and that tricolor streak in the background. Each hero has their own set of skills, and this streak is a subtle way of showing us how different they are from each other. It does have that all-new Sonic stamp in the GameCube version, but I can let it slide. B rank and higher than the other 2 versions. Onto the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 with Sonic 06. For a game as stuffed as 06, you'd think the box art would have more going on. No Silver, Shadow, Elise, Iblis? No? Okay. On the surface, it could come across as plain, just Sonic running. But if you look closely, you can see a blur effect on Sonic. Around his head and hands in the foreground, there's that blur effect, cluing us in on the Mach speed sections, which were terrible, but they're here. And this has got to be the first cover to utilize Sonic's speed. And the textures on the 3D model look really good. The way his gloves look photorealistic, and the glossy polish on his shoe. It's the 7th generation of home consoles, and we're gonna show it off! Behind Sonic is either Soliana Castletown or Kingdom Valley, so Sonic is most likely on the edge of Soliana Forest. It's been a while since we had a main series cover within an environment. So yeah, this cover's great. A rank. Sonic Unleashed, North America. The duality between Sonic and his Werehog form takes center stage, and each side showing the emphasis on where they're the strongest. For Sonic's daytime form, his foot is in the foreground, showing off his speed, and for his Werehog form, his claws in the foreground, showing off his strength. This model has a composite B-movie monster vibe to it, and the textures are top-notch. You can see the dirt on the sole of Sonic's shoe, and the fur on his Werehog side, man, it looks incredible! On each side is day and night. On Sonic's side, the sun is shining, and on the Werehog side, there's a full moon. And on the bottom, the earth cracking open, just like in the opening. I'll give this A rank. Sonic Unleashed, Japan, aka Sonic World Adventure. Oh, I like this one more. The model's the same, but the big difference here is the background. There are screenshots of the countries we visit in this game, both during day and night. It is Sonic World Adventure, so you gotta show the world. And they all look so good. Sonic Unleashed was made way too early. It should have been for PS4 or Xbox One, but nah, we couldn't wait. Another addition, the tagline on the bottom. Within the sun icon, it says Shogeki, meaning shock or impact. And my Japanese for the rest might be a little off, but I think it says Sonic versus something? Quite the hint towards Dark Gaia. And if I mistranslated, please let me know. Better than the North American version. Yep, A rank. Now for the Colors era, starting with Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1. Deja vu much? I said in my Sonic Frontiers video that I would stop ripping on these games, being angry about it. So I'll provide more level-headed commentary here. This is a flat-out copy of Sonic 1's cover. Sonic's in front of Splash Hill Zone, just like how he was in front of Green Hill Zone. It wants you to think of Sonic 1. Sonic 4 Episode 1 has no real substance. It's banking on your classic nostalgia. Which is accurate. The game is that. And this isn't false advertising. If this was a remake of Sonic 1, I wouldn't mind. It is an updated version with a lot of polish, and the 3D model doesn't look too bad. The problem is that this game loudly called itself a sequel. For what we got, it is a lazy cover for a lazy game. D rank. Any future box art that copies Sonic 1, D rank. Sonic Colors, North America, without the U. The Wii and DS covers are basically the same, with their own exclusive wisps. And this cover tells you everything. It is showy. It is cheerful. It's in a music park set in outer space, and you're along for the ride. Sonic's in Tropical Resort, which is the perfect entry level for this kind of game. The cover exudes positivity, and that feels right. This is the right box art to use for colors. A rank. Sonic Colors Ultimate. The models from the original box art are here with the addition of the Jade Wisp, which was new in Ultimate. What I don't like about this cover is the background. Too abstract for my tastes, and it feels like a void. I liked it better when we were in an amusement park. We were in the area. This feels too off-world. Why couldn't the artwork be set in Planet Wisp? That is a famous stage thanks to this game and Generations, and Team Sonic Racing. I'll give this a low B rank. Sonic Generations, HD. This cover screams celebration. Sonic meets his older self from the early 90s, and the two are on an adventure together. While I have a bias against this kind of classic Sonic, I'm fine with it here since this was the first time since the late 90s to use the classic design for a new game's cover. Behind the two is Green Hill Zone, which we just saw in Sonic 4 Episode 1, but what makes this one different is that it's more faded. The Sonics are in the white world, and they're slowly returning everything to the way they were. My favorite detail here is the metaphor for a timeline. The older classic Sonic on the left, and the newer modern Sonic on the right. Left to right, like a timeline. And the two are looking at each other, both past and present respecting each other. A rank. Sonic Generations 3DS. The crappier version of the cover. Like how the 3DS version is crappier than the HD one. It feels way too obvious that we got two PNGs slapped on the cover. And the two Sonics don't look at each other. That mutual respect from the HD version? Not here. Also, we have Modern Sonic on the left and Classic on the right, so the timeline metaphor doesn't work here. A lot less care was put into this. Putting it in C rank. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2. Sonic and Tails are doing the same pose straight out of the title banner of Sonic 2. Like I said with Episode 1, if this was a remake of Sonic 2, that'd be a different story. But Sonic 4 is a sequel. For the sequel's key art, you gotta do something different. This game is a wannabe of Sonic 2, but a wannabe and a remake aren't the same. It is good to have Tails back on a main series cover for the first time since Heroes. Behind the two is Sylvania Castle Zone. The opening stage, yeah, that makes sense. And behind that is Little Planet from Sonic CD, which we never visit. Little Planet is barely a factor in this game, it does the bare minimum with it. The cover relies on Sonic 2 and oversells the relevancy of Little Planet, or lack thereof, going right behind its brother, D-Rank. Sonic Lost World. We see Sonic doing parkour, which is the new gameplay style. You should put that on the cover. The platform in Windy Hill is tube-shaped, which we see an abundance of in this game. After Sonic 4 Episode 1 and Generations, putting Green Hill on the cover, it's been getting weaker and weaker by this point. Windy Hill is the opening stage, and I guess they wanted to do it the same way the classics did, the Sonic 1 and 3 box art. They were set in the opening stages. And knowing Lost World, there are a lot of callbacks to the classic era. I should not ignore the Deadly Six. On this box art, they're kinda crummy. They're supposed to be Sonic's new foes, but here they look like bumbling comic relief. This box art is fine. Not good, just fine. C rank. Sonic Lost World Deadly Six Bonus Edition. Better, so much better. We still have Sonic doing parkour in Windy Hill. The stage isn't as obnoxious here because we have the Deadly Six breaking in. They look a lot more credible here, even though it's the same artwork. They each have their own slide with black strokes. This cover tells you that these 6 guys, they're a big deal. A major upgrade from the standard edition. I'll put this in low B rank. Sonic Mania. Something inspired by the Japanese covers of the classic games. You know, with Sonic on the left and Tails and Knuckles on the right, you could see it as the classic version of the Heroes box art. Behind them is a yellow background with multicolored shapes, just like in the debut trailer of this game. If there was one word to describe this, it would be celebratory. Mania celebrates the classics, and this cover, this has got it. A solid A rank. Sonic Mania Collector's Edition. We have Sonic standing in front of Green Hill Zone, reminiscent of Sonic 1. I meant what I said. Sonic Mania Plus, reversible cover. This is a sweet bonus if you have Mania Plus physically. Unlike the off-world yellow background cover art, we have the 3 heroes within one of the new stages, and Studiopolis is the right one to pick. So much detail in the background, Eggman grinning in one frame, Clubspin Ages with that Sega font, Egg TV sign, Sonic is running, Tails is flying, and Knuckles is gliding, which I don't think we've ever seen on a cover before. They put a lot of work into this, and the fact that you can have this just for fun, that says a lot about the dev team. My only problem here, I'm with some Call Me Johnny on this, that should not say Genesis. If you've played Mania special stages, then you should know this belongs on the Saturn, not the Genesis. The Genesis cannot handle these special stages. A rank. Sonic Mania Plus, Japan. The same artwork as the standard version, but a big difference is in the background. White canvas with multicolored shapes aplenty. Something we haven't seen since the Japanese cover of Sonic 3 way back in '94. A good return to that. And this is the first classic style cover in Japan to have all 3 heroes on it. It's superb, everything about it. A rank. Sonic Forces. Unlike the other heavy hitters in this era, Forces only has one cover, and it's my least favorite. I do like the fire around the logo, that is pretty cool. Eggman and Infinite do look intimidating, setting them up as powerful forces of malice. Even though they are easily beaten in the story, everything else about the cover sucks. Looking at this cover, you'd think the 5 heroes on the bottom are all playable. Nope, only 3 of them. So putting Tails and Knuckles there, true, the 2 are somewhat important to the plot. Knuckles is the commanding officer of the Resistance. Tails is, well, he's basically classic Sonic's sidekick, following him wherever he goes. But when you pair the 2 up with Sonic, people will assume they're playable. If they're not playable, then don't put them right next to Sonic on the box arts. Behind him as a looming threat, fine, but these 2 are close enough to be by his side. This part of the cover, it's a lie. I don't mind the avatar there. They are one of the big heroes. Classic Sonic, on this cover, he looks more like a kid brother than ever. Terrible. And onto the villain side. Why is Illusion Metal Sonic there? It doesn't matter that much in this story. They could have put Illusion Zavok there. I'm surprised they didn't. The background has a city on fire with a Death Egg Robot Sentinel, but this is really overselling forces. I hate this box art. Too cluttered, too tone deaf, and it promises way too much. E-Rink. And lastly, the era we're in right now, the Frontiers era. Kicking off with Sonic Frontiers, North America. I dig this cover, blending Sonic's coolness with the serene nature of Kronos Island. All those obstacles you can do in this area, and Sonic goes through them like a pro. This might be the first cover to have him grinding. Even though the game was inspired by Breath of the Wild, the cover wasn't. Sonic is living it. He's having fun here. For an open world or open zone game, this cover works for that. A-Rank. Sonic Frontiers, Japan. You really see the Breath of the Wild influence here. And I like this a little more than the other cover. While the other cover was more lively, this one feels more ominous, mystical. Not too different from the opening of the game when you're first running in Kronos Island. It looks peaceful, but there's a hint of danger. It must be the sky, the dark clouds surrounding the sunlight. We see some of the architecture left behind by the ancients, the tower and the flying pyramid. Sonic is taking this 100% seriously. While the North American cover shows how fun the gameplay is, the Japanese cover shows how gripping the story is. Pick whichever one suits you. For me, this is A-Rank, a little more than the North American version. And the final box art for this video. The box art for a game that has not been released yet. A game with a soundtrack I can't use because we don't have access to the songs. Sonic Superstars! It's okay. I just think it's okay. The main four are in Bridge Island Zone, the opening stage of this game, and I appreciate them not using the Green Hill themed checkerboards in the background. That must have been really tempting. Giving major points for putting classic Amy on the cover. Amy has not been on a main series cover since Heroes, and that's only the Japanese version. Something else I really should mention here. Sonic is holding a Chaos Emerald. A Chaos Emerald has finally made it to a main series cover, 30 years after the Time Stones beat them to it. Better late than never. I'll give this B-Rank. And there we have it. 7 for S-Rank, 15 for A-Rank, 7 for B-Rank, 6 for C-Rank, 5 for D-Rank, and 1 for E-Rank. With Sonic, there are way more good covers than bad. That's part of this franchise's style. I'm glad I got to appreciate these awesome covers, and I'm looking forward to seeing more in the future. Thanks for watching. Do you agree with the tier list? Which cover is your favorite? Till next time.